We drove an hour and a half north to Mammoth Caves National Park in Kentucky, and we're about to head in. We have about 8 minutes till our tour starts, so let's go.
We have made it to the cave we're actually entering right now. Hopefully you can see me. We're going down the steps right now, and into night mode we go. It's also very quiet in here, even though there's a couple of people. So initially when I saw the pictures, I did not think it was going to be this big, but this is huge. Not only that, but there's multiple paths that you can take. I did not think it was going to be this big, but this is huge. This is big. So I'm not sure if you can see me, but this is a little perspective of what I'm talking about, and how big this is. So I'm literally like 2 feet away from the camera, probably like 4 actually. Now I'm gonna go back and you're gonna see how big this is. So this right here basically shows you how all this was created.
Basically a river came through and carved all this out. This right behind me actually used to be an entrance to the cave, but there were rocks that fell down and completely blocked this entrance off. So they basically said that it could potentially be a new entrance, but they don't want to take the rocks away because it'd mess up the airflow that's already occurring in these caves, which is pretty cool.
So far we're super amazed at just what we've been able to see. Now what you see is not nearly as
cool as how it is. It's super dark, so
yeah.
It might be hard for y'all to see stuff, but it's really neat in here. And unfortunately it's a self-guided tour due to COVID, but usually there are tour guides, and one of the rangers was telling us that in the early 1800s that people used to come tour here as like the first people here, and they'd come in like big fancy suits and big poofy dresses to come visit this, which is kind of funny.
So we got to the very end where we're actually allowed to, like, the furthest point that we are allowed to go at the moment, just because of the current situation. And the guy was telling us that during what year?
The 1840s, people would come to try to get cured from tuberculosis. They thought that the cool air would help. And people would stay here for like 10 months, but unfortunately all the patients died.
Except, no, never mind.
No, he said all the patients died. So a lot of people will say that this place is haunted because of the history of this place and the fact that all of those people would come in with just lanterns. There weren't all these lights in here at the time. And, you know, they had this illness and passed away in here. So it's really crazy. And the park ranger basically said that, like, some people will, like, say that they saw other people on this tour.
Which
like
is so crazy.
And the tuberculosis people, they wore hospital gowns, which were white at the time. And so when people came around the corner, they'd see, like, these pale white people. And they'd get freaked out and think it was a ghost.
So,
yeah.
It's a crazy story. So the park that we're going to next actually has planes that we can look at. So we're gonna exit the cave, head to the car, drive there, and see what kind of planes there are.
Aviation Heritage Park. It's a park in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and it has 7 different planes and helicopters to view. And basically it's a memorial to several different pilots that were from Kentucky. And so they have a lot of really neat helicopters and planes. This plane was used to transport the president of the time. No idea who that was, but whoever was president when this was working. And then they have some from the Army, the Air Force, Navy, NASA. They have all different types of planes here. It's really awesome. If you're in the area, I definitely check this out.
after going to that aviation park and enjoying some time there and looking at the planes, we planned to come to a dairy farm, which is where we are now, and see what they have. Let's go inside. So we're inside, and obviously because they're a dairy farm, they offer ice cream and milk and all that stuff. And we obviously could not pass it up, and so we got ice cream. So Melanie got a cone of Rocky Road, which she's almost done with it. And I got 2 scoops of banana ice cream, which they do include a little bit of banana pieces in there, and it makes it really good and delicious. So if you're in for ice cream and if you're around here, definitely stop here because it's really good. And not to mention the scoops are like baseball size, so they're huge, and it's also made here, which is also great. So help a local dairy farm out and support them. So I'm gonna enjoy the ice cream, and then we're gonna head back home. And call it a day. So I'm finished with my ice cream. It was really good, and I highly recommend this place. It's really good ice cream. I mean, homemade. Can't get better than that. But anyways, it's time to head home and call it a day. It's been really fun. I think we're gonna wrap this video up here, and see you in the next one.